Hi guys, welcome to I drank some stuff to calm down a little bit. I have a drink right here, so I think I'm calmed down. I had to wait a few minutes. But here's a part two to things I did wrong while owning guinea pigs. But this part is the things I did right, I guess. Because I did start at the end of owning guinea pigs, learn how to properly take care of guinea pigs. Okay, so this is, it's towards the end of Angel's life, right? I want to say this is I think we got the other two guinea pigs in 2016, if I remember. So, this is something I did wrong actually. But we went to this. I got a phone call. Apparently, I'm only busy when I record videos, and things happen to me. But yeah, towards the end of Angel's life, I found out that guinea pigs need to have they need to have a companion. Um, but I'm skipping a chapter I meant to have. But I'll say this part. So I learned that guinea pigs needed a companion. So I ended up being like, hey mom, can I please get a guinea pig? And it was like tax time, it was like February or whatever. We're gonna go to this pet store. I still didn't learn my pet store problems yet at this point. We went to this pet store, but this pet store is pretty good because they do go from breeders, but they also take in animals that people don't want. So they have birds that were up for sale that are rescues. So they're kind of both, which they're a decent pet store. Not like the most amazing, but it was better than other. I still wouldn't, go to a pet store to get guinea pigs or any animal. Well, except for maybe fish. I don't know. Well, it depends on what pet store. Like, I'm not gonna. I almost said those pet store names in this video too, but depends on how good. There are good pet stores and there's bad pet stores. I would go to a good one, right, for fish. We went there and they had no guinea pigs. They were like, oh, it could be a couple more months, but I was really impatient, and then I found a guinea pig breeder that was in my town actually, and he was out in the country, and it was February, so it was freezing outside. We went there and I got Gracie. This is Gracie. I don't have Gracie in Brooklyn. It passed away now. This is forever ago now. But I got Gracie first. My mom didn't have money for two guinea pigs at the time. And I kind of wanted to get two because Angel was at the end of her life, and I knew that guinea pigs needed a pair. And I got Gracie for Angel, but I knew that Angel would die coming up soon, which actually I didn't realize how soon Angel would die. So we got two, and then we got Brooklyn. Brooklyn was so cute. Brooklyn's little nickname was Einstein because she looked like she had this crazy hair, and I loved it. They're both Peruvians. I don't think I would ever get a Peruvian. If I did, their hair is being kept short because that was a pain because I tried having their hair like longish, but it was brushing them. They would not tame. They hated, I would try taming them. Angel was really tame for a guinea pig because I was like the closest thing she had to a friend, Angel's really, really tame. I'll tell you this after the story. But Brooklyn and Gracie, sorry, would not really tame to me. Like I would try doing stuff, but they just always ran from me. I always had to chase them down. But yeah, let me do the next thing. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how tame Angel was. She was like a dog. She was like a dog version of a guinea pig because I was her only friend. So Angel never was in her cage, I swear. Even though she had that pet store cage, she was never in her cage. I was always holding her. She only went in her cage, when I would go to the bathroom or when it was dinner time and bedtime and stuff, clearly, because I wouldn't sleep with her in my bed. And then also I would give her water breaks, too, which is usually my pee breaks. But Angel was always out with me. We would be outside. Angel, actually, when I would put her in the grass, she wouldn't eat grass. She would just stare at me until I sat down. I feel like if I have a video somewhere, I will show you guys. But she would just stare at me, and the second I sit down, munching on grass in the backyard. She was extremely tame. And then also, I would go to my dad's house on the weekend, so my mom would take care of my Angel and my guinea pigs when I went to my dad's house. And when I would come home, Angel would be, weaking so loudly in the cage. And I remember this one time, I immediately went, oh, she probably wants a treat. Let me give her a carrot. and I put carrots in her cage, and she just kept screaming and screaming until I picked her up, and then she just stopped. So I think she really missed me, because me and Angel literally all the time. And of course, when I went to school, I guess she wasn't out. She was in her cage. She was in the cage a lot, but not a lot at the same time, if that makes sense. She would also walk around where we lived. She would walk around on the floor, hanging out with me as long as I could. When we ended up getting a dog named Snickers, because my mom started dating this guy who had that dog, I couldn't really do that because he was a hunting dog, so he would have killed her. But I would put him outside and then have Angel out. She was out less when I had dogs. And then, of course, when I first got Maui and Sandy, Maui went to nip at Angel, but I stopped her, and then she never did again, thankfully, because I think she realized that this is a friend, not a foe. But Angel was, like, for a lot of her life, was out. And she was so well trained, I could call her name, and she would come. So I would, like, be out in the living room with her. And then if I didn't see her, wherever I was, if I didn't see her, I'd be like, Angel! And then she would come run into me. I always had carrots in some tree. We did have carrots a lot. Maybe that's why Angel lived so long. She got something from the carrots. Because I feel like we had carrots a lot, but that was the only treat she really ate. That was a vegetable that she only ate. But she would come when called. She was a really well-tamed guinea pig. Like, she was amazing. She would let me pick her up easily. I would never have to chase her. She would just come to the front of the cage. I would pick her up. We would cuddle for hours and hours. I miss that so much. I miss having her wait right here on my chest, like laying on the couch watching TV, just cuddling with her. She'd give me little kisses on my cheek. It was so cute. I'm crying again. Oh my god. I'm gonna finish recording this before my brother gets home because he's on his way home from work right now. But yeah, she was really well tamed. There was actually this one time where my mom had this friends with kids that were younger, and they wanted to hold Angel, and I let him hold Angel, and then this is like half an hour later, and he's not holding Angel, he's running around, and I said, "Where's Angel?" And he went, "I don't know, I lost her." And I was like, "What do you mean you lost her?" So I'm freaking out, and I'm going around the house going, "Angel, Angel," and then she came out from under the china cabinet, like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, oh, that could have been so disastrous if Angel wasn't so tame. I'm so glad I had her so tame because anything could have happened to her, and I'm so glad she didn't chew on any wires. She didn't get anything she wasn't supposed to, because who knows how long she was missing for. Like, he could have immediately set her down and lost her, and then she was gone, running around for half an hour. Or she could have been running around for 5 minutes. I don't know. And then after that, no one really held Angel unless they were sitting on the couch and I was sitting right next to them. Because I didn't trust nobody. But can you blame me? And then before I got Gracie in Brooklyn, I did upgrade Angel's cage to this dog cage. I will try to find the dog cage size because I kind of remember it. If I can find somewhat around, I can let you know. But I feel like the dog cage I feel like the size guide was okay for 2 guinea pigs. Not like amazing, but I think it was the bare minimum. But then I ended up having 3 guinea pigs in that cage. And then there are old videos. I don't know if I put them on private or not. Like one of my first videos. I did move the guinea pigs so they had the whole front living room to themselves. And so I blocked off certain areas, and then they slowly got less and less. And this is when I started learning that guinea pigs need more room to run around and stuff. And so they had that, and then I was like, I thought they would be litter trained, but they just pooped and peed everywhere, and it was carpet, so it was disgusting. So then I ended up moving them to make a makeshift CNC cage. I wonder if I have any photos. I'm going to try to describe it because I don't think I have any photos. And I had to carpet clean the room, of course, like 1 billion times to get rid of all the pee after I realized that they were peeing all over the floor. It was only like a month thing before I was like, wait a minute, they're probably peeing in the carpet and this is disgusting. But yeah. I also started chewing up the carpet, and I didn't know if they were swallowing it because there were like pieces on the ground, but I was hoping they weren't swallowing it, which would have been a great time to take them to the vet to see if they did. I don't think they did, because Gracie and Brooklyn lived for a decent amount of time. But the makeup CNC cage was, I took linoleum. So I used the dog cage, but I used the dog cage I had, but I opened the door and kept the door open, and then I used these metal shelves, I used the panels from them, and laid them out. I don't know what I did at the end. I can't remember what I did at the end, but I made a decently sized cage on the floor, and then linoleum as the ground over the carpets, and I think a little piece of wood. I don't know. And then I would clean the cage. I didn't put wood chips there. The wood chips were only in the dog cage. I started learning that they need hay and vegetables at this time, when like right at the end of Angel's life, I learned that they need hay and vegetables. The hay first, and then the vegetables later. And that's when I started really babysitting, and then I got my first like job. And I would spend my paycheck on taking care of the guinea pigs, and my mom would always buy the basic pellets for the guinea pigs, and then also same thing for the dog's food. But I would buy the hay, and she'd also buy the wood chips, and I would buy the hay and the vegetables for the guinea pigs with any money I had from my paycheck. And anything I could buy for them. They didn't have any toys really. Sometimes I would get toys, but they never really had toys. Which, I of course would give them toys. But I'm almost at the end of this video. But yeah, they started getting that, and I'd be very lucky, and there was always some vegetable that they would eat, or that I would give them that was always on sale. Like there would be, oh, there's red peppers on sale. I'm gonna get me some of those. Oh, there's kale on sale. Okay, there's romaine lettuce on sale. I always got very lucky about that, because clearly it was gonna go bad, but and they didn't have. I would try to like spread out the vegetables as long as I could, because I couldn't afford giving them the right amount of vegetables, but I could afford giving them some vegetables. But yeah, at the end of Gracie and Brooklyn's life, I almost forgot. I can't remember if Angel was alive at this point, but I did end up getting coroplasts. I never got those metal grids, which I would do now this time, because I did the coroplast and I did the walls really high for the coroplast. But I did end up making like a CNC cage, a coroplast cage. If I have any photos, I'll show you. It was a big old L-shaped cage, and then later I moved it to not be an L shape. It was just a really long cage, which that was still a huge amount of space for 2 or 3 or like 6 guinea pigs. It was a decent amount of space that they did have. So I know at the end of their lives they had proper care, except for they still had like the pine, because I didn't know until after the guinea pigs died that pine bedding was bad. You didn't eat aspen. I didn't know until after they all passed. But to the extent they had proper care, they had vegetables, they still had the crappy pellets, they had hay all the time, and stuff like that. I do give myself a little bit of credit at the end of life, making sure they did have proper care, because like right at the end they were having the right amount of vegetables and stuff like that, and being taken care of really good. They still had carrots, because I still thought carrots were okay. They still had a decent amount of carrots, but now I know that's really a really rare treat I should be giving them. But yeah, I feel like I said everything in this video. I'll never forgive myself for the way Angel passed away and for the care I gave her before I found out. I'll never, like, even if someone says, like, you didn't know better, I'll never really forgive myself for that. It's just a burden that I will hold on myself for the rest of my life. But I try to think about, like, the good things I started doing once I did that, and like try to, this whole point of these past 2 videos were that sometimes you make mistakes as pet owners, but a lot of times on the internet, people hide that, and they hide the things that they do wrong. But I want to post that sometimes you do something wrong, and you learn from those mistakes. We're all human. Nothing in this world is perfect. Everything has mistakes. Every animal, every person, everything, there are mistakes, and it's just how it goes. Yeah, I feel like that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some knowledge, maybe some insight from this. If you want to get a guinea pig, don't watch my videos or these past 2 videos. Go search up how to properly take care of guinea pigs, because I did not talk about everything that guinea pigs need. But yeah, getting it out and telling the world this is like such a relief off my shoulders. I feel like it's like a burden I've been like carrying and like hiding, but it should, like, the internet is just like, you just hide. You only see the best sides of people, but there are bad sides, and things like this happen. I can't, like, when I do the fish one too, I think once I do the fish and dog ones too, I think I'm gonna feel so much better getting it out, so everyone like understands that stuff happens. Nowadays, I feel like if you have improper care for animals, that's a you problem, because it is so common to easily a Google search on your phone, because everyone has a phone. And people in prison have a phone. Like, I mean, they have to sneak it, but it's so easy nowadays to easily search up. You should have proper care now. Back then, proper care was a pet store cage, unless you really delve into researching how to properly care for them. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later, I guess. Bye.